This episode of TWIMMO is brought to you by Harrys.com. To save $5 off, just make sure to go use promo code Gamebreaker on checkout.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to This Week in MMO, episode 203 for September 25th, 2014. Garrett Gannon. We talk about MMOs with me and two other people. Troy Blackburn, the New Fridge. What's up, sir?
I talk MMOs with a little bit of brain damage. So
a little bit of brain damage.
That goes. That'll be very interesting.
Troy dropped, what did you drop on your head this week? What is it called? I didn't even know what this was.
Steel T-post driver. If you're from the country like I am, use it to drive T-posts in the ground. It's a heavy piece of steel tubing, and I let it land on my head. I wanted to test the limits of the human skull. Skull 1, T-post driver 0.
What were you actually, like, what were you holding it above your head? Like, would you because you were really hurt, and you like typed in chat for us like, I dropped a T-post on my head, and that was like all I got out of you for like 48 hours, and I was like, fuck, what happened? T-post? I don't even know what it is. I googled it, I looked at it, and it looked almost like something I'd see like in a playground with kids. I don't know, like a post with like these two steel things, and it looks really heavy. Is it heavy?
It is really heavy because what's intended, like if you see a barbed wire fence, you see a green T-post that the barbed wire fence is attached to. Those are usually about 6 to 6.5 feet tall. So before you drive them in the ground, you set them up and you use this T-post driver instead of a sledgehammer so you don't smash your fingers. So when you're initially going to drive the post, the driver goes above your head. Well, when I did that, the lip of it caught the top of the T-post and the whole thing just toppled and hit me, boom, right on top of my noggin. It's probably 25, 35 pounds, something like that. It's heavy.
Damn.
It's meant to drive a post into the ground, so it's not a feather.
Face. It's a post ready to drive into your skull.
Man.
So you didn't break the skin, but you had a massive knot, a concussion. You went to the hospital. The whole night.
Massive knot. A knot came up so big and so fast, I could feel the skin on the top of my skull crawling as the knot was coming up. It was bad.
All right, I'm done with this story. It's making me crazy. JKK, Justin Kennedy. He's in a brick room, apparently. Surrounded by brick. Is that brick like? And he's got no audio.
And no audio.
Brick room. He's in a brick room and he's got no audio as well.
It's prison.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's in Guantanamo.
You can hear me now. I'm actually in a new place this week. I am in a new place entirely. I moved and everything, so setting up a little studio stuff and just still putting everything together.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. New
I can be loud and not to worry about waking up anybody else, except for maybe the people below me. Hopefully they don't get mad.
They probably won't. I'm sure the brick will soundproof.
Yes, the brick. The brick will soundproof it.
You should put, you should put behind you, put fake soundproofing. Put a picture of fake soundproofing. The film stuff.
That would
put
be
that
legit.
behind you. I'm in a studio. Nope, it's great.
Hell Hydra.
There you go.
Coming at you from the JKK studios.
Wow, so Troy, you had a big week. You got your head bashed in. Justin's got a new place to live. He's got a lot. I don't know. You got smashed in the face. He's got I got an iPhone. That's about what I got this week. It's about like I got an iPhone. I gotta say,
so you've had that big thing for a few days. Is it still okay? Is it getting bigger the longer you have it?
Okay.
Well,
so
he doesn't wear. Well, you don't wear skinny jeans, do you, Gary?
Sort of. Sometimes.
Do you have a hipster dilemma?
A little bit. If you were following me on Twitter, you saw I did the unboxing of it, and when that was literally, I hadn't opened it up before that, so that was when I just opened it up and saw it, and I was like, wow, I actually expected it to be larger than this. Like I was happy when I first opened it up, and I was like, oh, it feels like a really good size, and I thought it would be bigger, and it was really light, and I just liked it that was my initial impression. Used it for about 24 to 48 hours, and I just started. The biggest thing I found myself doing was I always felt like I was going to drop it. I was so scared to hold it. Like my hand doesn't really want to hold. And I was kind of freaking out. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to take it back. And I'm going to try and return it. And I did. I tried going back and getting the 6. but they're all sold out of the 6. I couldn't get a 6. So all right, screw it. I bought a case. That was my don't take it back. Buy something else from Apple. That was my motto.
Give them more money. I've heard that swapping on Craigslist is a big deal. Like people with the 6 and the 6 Plus, like they're doing a lot of swapping on Craigslist for the people who don't like whichever one they ended up with and want the other one.
I could see that. So I bought a case, and I'm about 2-3 days into the case, and I would say it's 1,000% better. It's so much better. Like I don't feel like I'm going to drop it anymore, and it's really weird that I never thought a case would make me actually like a phone better, but it does. The case makes me like the phone more.
So it's even bigger now, so you like it more. Gotcha.
Well, I just don't feel like I'm going to drop it anymore. Like I feel like I can like hold it. I'm getting used to it. It's a big phone, man. But some of the positives just outweigh it. Like typing on it's great, and I'm old and I can't see my phone
case yet.
Is there a what?
A 6 Plus Otter case, an OtterBox
case.
OtterBox.
OtterBox. You don't know what an OtterBox is? That big waterproof.
It's
probably not yet.
It's a super drop box it in like for the case.
So you could drop it in like the river and you're fine. I don't know. Now, I think right now the only ones available are the Apple ones right now. I
think they're afraid to make it. It'd be too big.
Might be. But I'm like an old man now. Like my regular iPhone, I literally had to start I started wearing glasses, that stuff, and I started having to like really put my phone out here to read it before. Like I literally wake up in the morning and check my email, and my wife's laughing at me because my phone's like all the way out here, and I'm like looking at it. But I can actually read this one, so this is nice. I can actually. The screen's gorgeous, and now when you watch like stuff on YouTube, now I can't go back. But it did make my like iPad Mini just now collect dust because I had a Mini, and that thing's just gonna do nothing now. So it's like. If I had to choose one or the other, I would take this and just not have got a Mini. But if anybody out there's still on the fence and they're going to get one, everybody's been asking me on Twitter, and I would say absolutely go to the store, though, and hold them both because this thing it's pretty big. You also
downloaded Swipe, right?
Love it. I downloaded SwiftKey and Swipe at the same time. I started using SwiftKey first because it was free, and everybody was like, use SwiftKey, and I started to. Then I was like, okay, let me go give Swipe a try. Gave Swipe a try. Didn't look back. Uninstalled SwiftKey immediately. Paid the $2 for Swipe. Best app I think I've put on my phone in years.
Swipe is awesome. It's like it makes it so easy.
I know all you Android. We've been using that for years. You guys just get it now. Blah blah. I know. But I've got it, and it's really good. So it's kind of enabled me back to start texting while I'm driving again.
Oh, because that's a good thing.
It does enable you to do that.
It does. And the other thing, the last thing about it that I kind of poo-pooed at the beginning and thought it was kind of gimmicky and didn't really think I'd use it is the reachability is what they're calling it, which is double tapping the bottom button. And what it does is it brings half the screen down halfway so you can use your thumb. And I really didn't think like I would use it because I'm just like, I don't want to do 2 extra steps of tapping. And it sounds annoying, but like after a day or so, your brain just gets used to doing it, and almost like the muscle memory happens and you forget it. And it's actually quite useful. I kind of use it. So I don't know. I don't know if I had my choice right now. Again, I'd say I'm still a little bit on the fence, but I'm not totally unhappy with this. I might still go with the 6 though. I don't know.
Because Apple needs more of your money.
Should I just go get a 6 as well? Have both?
You should
what do I feel like taking
today?
The 6 or the 6 Plus? No.
Just turn the 6 Plus into a tablet and then use the 6 for your phone.
I haven't really gamed on this thing yet. I've got to try Blitz on this. Blitz would probably be cool in this. I played on my iPad Mini, but I have not put a game on it yet. So Swipe's about it. All right. Let's talk about a game.
Yeah.
Anything else out of the way? Well, I guess there's a lot. Really quickly, a lot of crazy stuff happening at Gamebreaker. New site's coming. Can't tell you what it is yet. I'll tell you when it's ready. It's almost ready. You guys have been looking at it. What do you guys think of it without giving it away? Do you guys like it? I look at every story and read every single one, and I'm just like glued to it. I'm like, I want to read every story we put up on here.
As far as I can tell, those who have the same interests in gaming and such that we have will have some of the similar interest in what the new site is going to be as well.
Because it has nothing to do with games.
I think there's a lot of crossover there. Yeah.
It has zero to do with video games, so just keep that in mind. People on the internet were confused by that. I'm just like, no confusion, nothing to do with video games. We're branching out, we're trying something new, and I'm psyched about it. I like the stories. Some of them are crazy.
And you have your own secret mailing list, right?
Yes, you guys
are you leading it? Actually, you're leading the mailing list.
I'm going to lead that mailing list of journalists only talking about these things. We'll see. All right, so that's coming. So that's a big thing. That's going to be coming really soon. I don't know, a couple more days. Actually, why we're waiting is because we're waiting for a domain name to transfer over registers. So that's all I'm waiting on. The site's ready to go. We've been actually posting content to it every single day just to kind of build up a bunch of stuff for you guys to check out and read. The second that domain hits and is ready to go, we'll fire it up and we'll turn that thing on. We'll let you guys know. So hopefully you guys like it. I think you'll like it. I like it. I'm having fun with it. I think the writers are having fun with it. I don't know, Troy, you're writing this stuff. You enjoying writing it?
Yeah, it's a nice break from just the gaming stuff every day, and it's like I said, it's something that I'm definitely interested in, and I think at least part of our audience will be as well. So I mean, it's been fun, kind of getting into some of that stuff and reading about more than you normally would have, and being able to write it and kind of put it back out there is it's a lot of fun.
There's some cool shit on there. I gotta say, some cool shit. And we're gonna also be launching a show. With the site, not when the site launches. The show is a little bit delayed from the site, but there'll be a post up on the site sort of announcing that there will be a show. So we will be doing a show for that site. I know people have been wanting more shows back, wondering where shows are going. Kind of part of the reason why I've been holding off on other shows and stuff like this is because I want to do some more diverse things. So there is a show coming on that site as well. All right, so let's talk about some MMOs, which is why people are here. Biggest news this week, obviously, Blizzard. The Blizzard news, Titan, the codename Titan, the MMO that we've been speculating, picking apart for years and years on the old legendary, has been officially canceled. If you guys haven't heard, officially canceled. Blizzard came out and just said, nope, we've been working on this for 7 years, did they say? Was it 7?
Yeah, I think 7 was the number I heard.
I think they just wanted I think it's actually just coming out now as God. We've gone past Titans, now we're at Gods. So
now we're just at Gods.
The next MMO codename is God.
Estimated anyway, this is a pretty broad number. I don't know where these numbers are coming from. Maybe one of you guys know, but estimated between $50 and $140 million in costs were put into this.
Yeah, so
where's
this
that
was.
From? Do we know where that's from?
This was two different analysts. The first analyst said $50 million when he made his estimate on there, and the second analyst said between 70 to 140 million. So that's why it goes from 50 to 140 million there. And they both based it on the number of years and their guesstimate, basically, of how many employees were possibly working on the project over that time. So their costs. It's
kind of a weird one to think. So the setting was future Earth. It was a future Earth setting, sci-fi. And the main concept basically was that you were a normal, mundane kind of player, but you had like a job during the day, I guess you could say. And they were looking at things like butchering or engineering or entrepreneurship. So during the day, you were just like this normal person. And of course, at night, you were a superhero, somewhat sci-fi, fighting and killing and making good of the world somehow. But a lot of people compared it to TF2 style graphically, I believe. There was some TF2 references. They said it felt a little bit like Pixar. What did they say? It was like Pixar meets something else?
I know there were definitely some TF2 references thrown in there, so it was definitely going to be a more animated, cartoony look. Everything you read about what the game was going to be kind of alludes to the fact that it was going to be sort of that Pixar, TF2 sort of artsy, cartoony style. So I'd say it's a pretty safe bet that it was definitely that.
Well, and it's Blizzard, and their game has lasted graphically wise because of a cartoony, stylized system over the years. And why would they go away with that and try to go with this realistic effect that would disappear in a year? So that makes sense.
So what do you, we got little bits and pieces of what it might have been. There was I guess some anonymous people may have kind of told some journalists. Obviously, they're all in that secret circle on that email list chain that we're not on, but. I guess some people kind of spilled the beans internally, maybe of sort of trying to give ideas about what it was like. And I gotta say, when I read it, I was like, this mundane job. First of all, when they call it a mundane job, not really selling me. Not that they have to sell me because they're not putting it out, but that whole aspect of it, I just kind of scratched my head and went, crafting? Like, is that like the crafting part of it? Like, I'm just crafting.
How are they going to make it interesting? And how long do days last before it's nighttime and I can actually go out and do stuff?
Or do you have to wait, or do you just say like, oh, I just want to do something, and you just like click and go to a mission? And is it kind of, I doubt they'd make you wait. They wouldn't just make you wait.
I don't know. I read something that said you didn't even have to go out and do missions. You could just stay at what is being described as pretty much a mundane job. And if the people working on the game end up describing that portion of it as mundane, how exciting could that have been for gameplay? I mean, do you guys think that they were kind of going for something kind of like not the same, but changing what we think of as sandbox? Because when I hear like when I hear job and player, because I think what the idea was that every player would actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded to me as if every player would actually get their own store in the real world, and you would have it, and you could sell things to other players, and they could come in and buy things, and you would whatever you were making and stuff like that. So it sounded to me like a player-run store.
Well, it looked like it was kind of, I think it varied. There was options like you could be just tinkering with vehicles as a mechanic, or be having your own business as an entrepreneur. Like, I guess there were various ranges. You probably had to build your way up in that matter if you wanted to. And then you would basically, a mission would pop up, your faction who you chose to be with be like, here's your mission, you've got 5 seconds to accept, and then apparently you ran into an elevator and transformed into your superhero outfit and ran off.
Which translates oddly into sci-fi MMO shooter. Like, that's not like they say superhero and then it turns into sci-fi MMO shooter. I'm like, whoa, those are some weird combinations. And then of course you go sci-fi MMO shooter. Where have I heard that before? Oh, you just launched a game. And even with all the TF2 Pixar sort of references, and it sounds different, there were, based on some of the descriptions being given, a few similarities to kind of what Destiny ended up being in it as well, which maybe helped contribute to part of why they decided not to go with it. I'm sure it's not the only reason, but maybe helped contribute to that.
Well, we'll never know, because it has been shelved. So people were really scratching their heads on this. One of the quotes here says, I don't know, was this Mike Morhaime? I'm not sure who quoted this. Actually, I don't have the quote. The discipline of knowing when to quit is important. We are losing perspective and getting lost in the weeds a little. We were losing perspective and getting lost in the weeds a little. I actually think I may be wrong, but I think this might be a what's his name quote.
Chris Metzen.
Yes, Metzen. I think this is a Metzen quote. He said, we had to allow ourselves to take a step back and reassess why the hell we were doing that thing in the first place. Another quote again. I don't know if this is him or not, but somebody over there.
It's Mike. Mike followed up.
Mike followed. He says, it's always really, really hard to make those kinds of decisions. He says, it was hard when we canceled Warcraft Adventures. Yeah, everybody forgot about that one, right? It was hard when we canceled StarCraft Ghost.
Nobody's forgot about that one.
Nobody's forgot about that one, Mike. Nobody's gonna let that one down. He says, but it has always resulted in better quality work. So cut their losses. I mean, it's better to cut it at $50 million and do the tax write-off on that bad boy than spend another $200 million or whatever they're gonna put into this thing and have it completely flop. It sounded like they just said they were really struggling to find the fun. They've been working on it for a long time, and I think at some point you're just like probably spinning in circles and looking at each other going like, we're trying to reinvent this over and over. Like, maybe there's just at the core of this thing, it's just it's we don't know what it is. We can't.
If the game was anything like the kind of mishmash of ideas that the description is, it's no wonder that they kind of decided, well, we can't really find what the game is in here. It sounds like it's just too many ideas kind of thrown into one pot. Like I said, if the description is any indication of what the game was kind of turning out to be, it just sounds like too many things trying to go into one game, and it just turned into sort of a big, convoluted mess.
Well, and I mean, if we're honest here, it's not like this is, they're not going to make any game anymore ever again. I mean, they got this tech they've created, or these ideas, these different things they've put together from Titan that they can utilize now on something else, on a different project that they might start up when they have a better idea of where they want to go.
Yeah, you hear a lot of that nowadays, where a company will put out a game and they'll be like, well, the ideas that came from such and such canceled game actually gave us a lot of the tech for this game that we ended up putting out. So, maybe some good stuff came out of this. Maybe it's not all completely wasted money.
What's the community's sort of reaction to something like this? I mean, are they now stoked that like basically everybody now? I mean, you kind of say the MMO world, Warcraft fans, you got nothing to worry about. Now you know it ain't going anywhere. Like it's staying. They're probably going to devote a lot of resources to it, so it's sticking around. So if you're a fan of World of Warcraft, it's actually kind of like probably a good thing for you if you're a fan.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Blizzard kind of shifting focus like some companies tend to do when they launch a new game.
Well, when Blizzard talked about having 10 more expansions or 10 years worth of more expansions for WoW, I mean, maybe they just plan on like updating the graphical integrity of WoW over time and stuff and continuing on with that instead.
Do they even need to?
WoW too.
Damn, like WoD looks so damn good. Like they've gotten the graphics. Like, do they even really need to? With all the new character models, like, do they really need to update the graphics engine? I don't know if they have to.
Maybe not right now, but probably if that game goes another 10 years, wouldn't that be amazing? 10 maybe.
I don't know how they're going to get
I would say it will absolutely go another 10 years. Easy.
I think it will still exist. I mean, that's true. EverQuest is still going as well.
Yeah,
and they're still pumping out stuff, things. So the first EverQuest gets expansion still. I mean,
well, there you go. So Titan, can't really talk about Titan anymore. It's gone. It's sailing. We're not going to hear anything about it. It's kind of a bummer. I was I don't know. I was
forward to it.
I was definitely just looking forward to playing a new MMO from a company who really knows how to make MMOs. So that was my thing. So being selfish, I'm kind of bummed that it's gone, but hey, obviously it was going to suck or they wouldn't have
canceled it. Would have been very, very interesting to see Blizzard put out another MMO. I was very curious to see what they did with the second MMO. So I'm like you. It's a little sad that it's not coming now because I was very curious to see what it was going to be and what they could do with something that I was hoping, of course now we know it was going to be different from World of Warcraft, but something back when we didn't know anything about it that I think we were all kind of sitting around going, I hope it's something completely different from World of Warcraft. Well, give us something different.
I think from some perspective, it was almost like we wanted, and this is maybe another reason why they decided they couldn't do it, they couldn't complete it, is we want Blizzard to just somehow revolutionize again the MMO scene and reinvigorate the entire MMO scene, because that's what Blizzard does. They brought in millions of people into the gaming industry playing the game, and we want them to do it again. And maybe that's quite a bit of a pressure to throw on Blizzard to be like, hey, you're building a new MMO, it better be next gen.
Well, I think because of the success of World of Warcraft as well, like a lot of people out there just think of Blizzard as an MMO company, but it's like they're not. They made one, so
yeah, just one, like, and they got lucky, very lucky. I mean, they did some good things, but at the end of the day, they were right place, right time, and everything just kind of fell into place with that sucker.
Yeah, they're not an MMO company; they're a game company. So who knows? I'm hoping maybe we'll see some, not World of Warcraft, but Warcraft RTS. Maybe they'll get back to that, bring us another Warcraft. Which
maybe
would be
a
cool.
single-player game from somehow.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe an RPG territory. That would be sick.
Maybe StarCraft Ghost is back on the table.
Oh,
I mean, who
maybe.
knows?
It's actually interesting that they announced it right around now, because I feel like starting in October, we're going to start being like, what do you think they're going to talk about at BlizzCon? It's coming in November. Do you think they're going to talk about Titan? Do you think they're going to talk about Titan? They got to talk about Titan. We're all like, they got to talk about Titan this year. It's been another year. They got to talk about
let's just go ahead and just, like, let's just get this out there and get this over with.
That's what I was thinking. Like, they cancel it so anybody interviews them up till BlizzCon aren't going, like, so are we going to hear about Titan this year?
Are we really going to do this? Yeah, it's September. Let's do this. Let's just tell them it's done. Pardo left. Ghostcrawler's gone. Titan's canceled. Hate you, Blizzard. Hate you.
Do you think they're going to have any sort of big WoW moments at BlizzCon this year, or do you think it's just kind of
they have to have something,
be showing off what they got?
No, they got to have something.
What are they going to come up with? What is going to be their WoW moment this year?
StarCraft 3.
I'm going to say the big moment. All right. Let's go around. We'll guess. I think what's going to be the biggest holy crap cool moment is going to be a trailer for the film.
Dang, you stole the best one. That is true.
I think that'll be the like, oh! Like
since they hit it last time from everybody.
Anybody? If we get to see it this time, that'll be great. Those of us who don't.
That's what I mean. Like, well, now they've shot. We know that they've been shooting for the past year now. So, like, yeah, I mean, we'd actually get to see, like, Thrall or just some characters and just really, really see it. I think that will bring the house down.
That makes sense. Really.
That's about the only thing that you get the feeling they've got kind of in their back pocket right now is that WoW movie, and they can be like, oh, by the way, boom, World of Warcraft movie.
Do you think we'll see an announcement for not a Hearthstone, a Heroes launch? Do you think, are we close?
Well, they're ending the technical alpha now. So they're in a transition period. I don't really know what that means. I don't think none of the wording said it's going into like closed or open beta, so I don't know what they're doing there. As far as a launch date, I don't think we're ready for a launch date.
No, we're not going to get a launch date yet. They're usually pretty well into alpha at least before they even start talking about launch dates. So I don't see a launch date for Heroes coming in. I sure would love another chance to get into that freaking game though and play it, because that would be nice.
You still don't have access.
Still not in that?
No, I'm not in that. I was supposed to be, but I never did get in.
Oh my God, we got to try and make something happen. I'll lend you my account or something.
It's the account I'm sure you've probably never actually logged into.
Shut up, Troy.
Damn it.
Calling me out.
I want to play that game. I want to play your casual, not a MOBA.
I feel like I don't know. Like part of me wants to play it. I'm kind of waiting. You know what it is? None of my friends are playing it. That's the thing. Like I game with like three buddies, like three people, and none of them are playing it. So like I game with them, none of them are playing it. So I didn't really
it's those kind of games, maybe even more than MMOs. MOBAs are much more fun when you've got at least a couple of people to play with.
So what do you guys think is gonna be the big announcement? I mean, Diablo just came out with an expansion. I don't think it's gonna be.
That's not happening.
We could see something new about StarCraft. There could be we could be ready for another StarCraft expansion about that time.
Warcraft RTS is where I'm leaning towards. If it's not, surely we're going to get something for the Warcraft movie, but I think Warcraft RTS is around the corner at some point here. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think maybe I've just murmurs here and there. It keeps leaning me towards there's another Warcraft RTS coming, so that would be fun. That was always my favorite between Warcraft and StarCraft. Was always the Warcraft games.
What do you think, Justin? What's going to be your guess? What do you think is going to be the big?
I think that I'd have to agree with you on the biggest thing. It's cop out now. Is that movie? It's gonna pop up there like they did with the Heroes of the Storm one last year, and everyone's like, "What is this?" And they started playing it, and then people are just gonna freak out, and just gonna blow up the entire beginning of the day for the first day.
Yeah, that's gotta be. I think probably the biggest thing. Well, it's November. I don't know the dates off the top of my head. I don't know. We'll be there, so we will definitely be there covering it. So it should be a good time. All right, so I got tons to talk about. I'm gonna take a quick second to talk about this week's sponsor, and that is Harry's.com. So happy to have Harry's on as a sponsor of This Week in MMO. If you guys out there, you shave. Hopefully you shave, unless you're like 10. Maybe if you're 10, you probably shave as well. Maybe you do. I don't know. You could be very manly. Check out Harry's.com. They got some really great kits for shaving. I got one actually right here. They sent to me. They were kind enough to check it out. So comes with this one kit comes with your shaver, shaving cream, and 2 extra blades. It's a really great starting kit. And I've said it before. I really thought this thing was going to be about $50, and I could not believe when I went to the website and looked at these kits. You can pick up the Truman, which is the same kit apparently. Like, you know, it's the same kit except with without the chrome handle there, which is a great kit for $15. Or you can order the Winston, which has got the chrome handle for $25. I gotta say, I like the Winston. I do like the chrome handle. It's got a great weight to it. Feels really good in your hand. It's good balance too, which is kind of important when you're shaving. And comes with some extra blades, and then you buy the blades for this. Actually, what's great, this is great. I hate buying blades. I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand like having to go to the store to buy blades. What you do with Harry, so you buy the kit from them, and then you get on a plan where you buy blades and they send them to your house. You don't have to think about it anymore.
You don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. There's a couple different plans, and you pick which one. You kind of know how much you shave, whether, you know, like I don't shave every day. I'm not an everyday shaving kind of guy. I leave a little bit. I shave every 2 to 3 days usually. So, and there's different plans. You pick one of those, and they only send you enough blades that you kind of need there. So just by using the promo code Gamebreaker on checkout, you can save yourself $5, which is killer. That's killer. I don't know if anybody else has that, but that's killer. $5 off. So check it out today. Go to harrys.com. Love having these guys on as sponsors, and pick up a kit and save yourself $5. Make sure to use promo code Gamebreaker. All right, so I don't want to do this story. Let's go to a different story. Riot. Let's talk about Riot. Riot restricting ranked play for toxic players. Riot have been what are they doing this time? Because they've been trying to combat toxic players for a really, really long time. And they what was it called? The tribunal system, was that what it was called?
Yeah, they tried the tribunal for a while, and that, I don't know. You just get the impression that didn't do a whole lot.
I don't think people used it very often.
Yeah, I used to try to go to it, but it was more to see how much like free IP I could get by doing it. So
what are they doing this time? So they're basically restricting toxic players. So if you get X number of strikes against you that says you're a toxic player, you cannot play in ranked. Is that basically what's happening?
Yeah, they're targeting the ranked players who are being utterly obnoxious and annoying, and essentially, if you're going to continue to be like that, you're going to lose your ability to play in ranked play. And I'm sure the people who play in normal are like, thank you for sending those toxic guys our way now, and now we have to deal with them. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean, taking away a lot of the guys who play ranked, they don't like playing normals. They feel demasculated if they're not playing ranked games. So maybe this will actually finally get some folks to wake up and realize, hey, just quit being a dick, man. It's not that hard. Just don't be a dick.
And I have a feeling they're going to target some of the big streamers. I feel like they're going to target some of the bigger streamers who just do nothing but rank. And just going to use them as an example if they decide to be toxic during it and stuff.
Oh yeah, there will definitely probably be some examples.
In the middle of your stream, it's going to pop up and says, when you try to go rank, you are not allowed to rank.
So what? How does one become is it flagged by other players that you're a toxic player? Like, how does the mechanism work to be put put baby in the corner?
I'm not even sure if they.
I assume it's a similar system to what's in place now, whereas if you're flagged so many times, it gets brought to the attention of someone who reviews the account. I know there's been, we've reported over the past, couple of years especially, there's even been some pro players who have been banned from LCS play because of their behavior in ranked games. So, acting like an ass and getting reported may actually have some actual consequences. Now the question becomes, do people really care if they get booted out of ranked for a while, and how easy is it to get reevaluated? You're going to play X number of games in normal to be reevaluated for them to decide whether or not you can be placed back into ranked play. Is that going to be a difficult thing, or do you get to play 3 games and just not say anything in chat for 3 games, and all of a sudden you're back in ranked and back to raging? I don't know.
This is a very manual system from the looks of it, and they've been testing it on the PBE. They actually have a competitive and player behavior team at Riot. I don't know if they're made up of psychologists and stuff or what, but they basically are, I guess, are going to be feeding through these reports that players send in, reviewing players, and then deciding basically a ban from ranked play and in-game chat. They get blocked from that as well for X number of games, which I'm not sure how, if you're blocked from in-game chat, how you show that you have got positive behavior suddenly. But
that's quite interesting. It completely removes you from chat. That's an interesting way to do it. So now you can't really
PBE, I don't know if that's coming in for the live version or not, but in PBE it blocked your chat as well for negative players. So I don't know. In-game chat, negative players, and prevented them from joining ranked queues until they completed the required number of games. And I guess it decide on the severity.
You can definitely still be reported even if you're not in chat. You can still do things to be a toxic player in that game. There are toxic players in games that I've reported that never said a word in chat, refusal to cooperate. And it's obvious when somebody's intentionally feeding, obviously trying to be a detriment to your team. So there's still things that they can definitely do even without chat.
How are you going to cooperate sometimes without chat? They're yelling at you. Why aren't you saying anything? You can't respond to them.
I mean,
it is that you're ignoring them. Now they're reporting you.
Especially in normals, if you play the game enough,
still.
It's fairly obvious what's going on and what you should or shouldn't be doing. If you're familiar with the game and you play a lot, it becomes usually pretty obvious when somebody's trying to be a troll and just intentionally be uncooperative.
Well, I gotta commend Riot for actually trying to combat this, even if their attempts so far have been like not perfect. You gotta give them credit for trying. I mean, they want to make it a better place, and this is a really hard like thing to kind of combat, right? Because anytime you try and put any sort of systems in place, this is almost like, you know, I'll relate it to something that's completely off the wall. This probably makes no sense, but this is like trying to put like a jail system in like an MMO. It's like, it sounds good, but then there's so many other ramifications that surround it, that like for griefing and things like that you're just like, wow, this could just be terrible. So I think that that's what they go up against when they try and do things like this. It's like, okay, how can people game this system? How can people, like, you know, are they going to start like flagging people like just to point them out and maybe they don't really deserve it? And how are we going to handle this? And it's like, I guess the tribunal system at one point was like, okay, let's see if the community themselves can sort this stuff out. Maybe we'll give it back to them. I guess that's not really working. But at least they're trying. At least they know it's an issue.
And they're trying something completely different every time too. They come across as legitimately trying to find a solution to this, because they jump to something completely different every time they take a different approach to it.
Well, and they don't have much of a choice but to actually keep trying stuff and getting this to work. I feel like, besides the fact that they can't, their game's been out now for obviously years, and they can't build up the community from the ground up, so they don't have a choice there. So they have to go with the route and how to deal with the toxicity that already exists in their community. And I see the two main reasons are kind of obvious on why they have to do this. Number one is the most cited reason that I've received from somebody who doesn't want to play League of Legends isn't because they hate the game or they hate the game type or find it boring or anything like that. The most cited reason is, I don't like the community. I don't feel like dealing with them. It sucks, and they don't stay. They don't want to even go try it. So there's the fact they are losing potential customers from that aspect, potential players to their game, just from that toxicity. The idea that their community is toxic, whether you've actually experienced it or not, it prevents those people from playing. And the number two reason out there is that public image for this competitive environment they're trying to create. They are trying to become, or they kind of are, the epitome of esports right now. They are the image that people outside of gaming sees for the video game esports scene, and if all they see is the toxic side of the game, then they have essentially dragged down esports into this not professional environment.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and that they'll probably Dota 2 players and StarCraft 2 players, that it probably makes you mad to hear it, but it is the truth. League of Legends is the face of what esports is right now. So they've got to be the ones to step forward and say, we're going to fix this problem for everybody, and just give a better name to esports everywhere as well as their game, and get those people who just, like Justin said, whether it's always completely justified or not, you know, not saying, well, the community's horrible, so I'm not even going to download that game and try it.
What do you think, Rob? I mean, do you think that there's a lot of, do you guys come across a lot of people who want to play League but still completely stay away from it just because of this aspect? Is it really just that a lot of people are really just scared off by the player base?
There's a lot of people who are scared off by PvP games in general because of the idea of toxicity, and then League of Legends it's such more prevalent to people in that mind that it is toxic that they don't even bother even trying it.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't just a League of Legends problem. League of Legends is so big, it kind of becomes, just like it's the face of esports, it kind of becomes the face of the problem. And I know for a fact, I definitely know people who kind of were interested in League of Legends from the outside, who have flat out told me during League of Legends discussions, you know, this is why I don't play, because I'm scared of the people that are, you know, how they're going to, you know, act towards me and just say and just do nasty things, and I just don't want to be a part of that.
So does this fix it? Is this actually going
to... I don't know if this is a fixing. So they're definitely trying to change the mentality of players. They're trying to change the mentality of their toxic players, and change them into a good person. It's the same thing as school. Oh, here's your detention for a while, or here you are put into in-school suspension for a bit. Will it work? I don't know if it will work on these people. I think it will work maybe on your big streamers. They'll probably be like, well, screw this, I don't want to get into this, so they might change their attitude and stuff if they're the ones being toxic. as far as some others, they may just quit the game and go elsewhere if they're at that point. They may just be like, screw this.
Then it becomes Dota 2's problem.
Well, yeah, I guess it actually solves kind of the problem in a faster manner.
We shall see. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of cutting you off from chat is an interesting idea because it kind of just like says, well, hey, if you're just going to act like this, you just can't even interact with any of these people. So you can't really... Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's definitely just a reminder to make you think twice about something like this. We'll see. We'll keep up on it. All right, next up, Omid Dariani leaves Sony Online Entertainment. So what's the story here? Why do we care?
The story isn't. I mean, he was a senior brand manager, and it's not like his exodus from Sony means a downfall of anything or that it was something crazy. He sort of started becoming a face of Landmark recently over the past months, and people have recognized him a lot, and he even got his own little meme and things. But the biggest thing wasn't that he left. It's actually what has come out since then. People were creating speculations and everything, like, oh, it was his attitude on his streams that he's been doing, or it's the way he acts towards other people and stuff. And he wanted to finally come out and say what it was, the reason why he chose to left. And the real reason he left is he chose to leave because his direct supervisors didn't support the community-first marketing approach that they've taken with EQ Next and Landmark's teams. So he decided after months of trying to convince them and them not agreeing with him, he decided just to leave.
So what does that mean? Can you break that down for me? Explain that. What is that? Any specifics there? Like what was the initiative? What were they trying to put forward, and where he was seeing roadblocks?
So, and he didn't go into specifics exactly what was blocked or what kind of ideas or anything, but I think kind of the idea is that the branding team and the community team were basically trying, almost maybe even being shot down on trying to go with a larger, bring the community in even more so. There might be more that they wanted to do with bringing the community in on Landmark and EverQuest Next, and that they were probably being just shot down left and right, like, no, we don't want you revealing these things. It's almost like that the old supervisors are there and they don't understand what you're wanting to do, so they just shoot down the idea instead of letting them work with it. And I'm guessing he didn't like the approach. He wanted to go more with the community, whatever that was, whatever that meant. If that meant bringing them in and letting them see more, or
they really did do a big shift in the past year or so, right? I mean, we never used to really hear much out of Sony, and they really jumped on. They jumped on the free to play model, then they were pretty early to start really jumping on Twitch and doing live streams and inviting, doing these not press events, but they were doing community events where they were you could truck down to San Diego where they're at, I believe, and players could come down for the day and play these games, and kind of they really did kind of shift gears and go very community centric. It's interesting to hear this because now I'm sort of wondering, okay, like if he's been pushing, and we've been seeing what they've been doing as far as like streams and community and that sort of thing. Now that he's not there, how much is going to change? Is it going to pull back big time? Yeah.
Well,
I see less and less of him.
And I wonder if he was pushing more on EverQuest Next right now, because we've obviously got almost nothing on EverQuest Next. We've got Landmark and stuff, and maybe he got through with them and they allowed it on Landmark, but perhaps they were like, no, we don't want our MMO, the EverQuest Next that we're developing with the story and everything. We don't want to show that to the community right away, and maybe they were trying to be restricted on that, and he was trying to change their mind to
you're speculating.
EQ Next similarly. Yeah, we're speculating. We don't really know.
You're speculating completely.
So, yeah, full thing speculation. There's no other comments other than what he directly said, which was just a disagreement with his direct supervisors on topic of community first marketing.
Well, be interesting to see where he goes, and see where he takes it, because he's
be interesting to see where SOE goes without him. If he was the primary force behind all this, then like you said, what happens now that push isn't there? That's I'm curious to see what happens with that, because they've made such a big deal in that PR push for that.
I know for gamers, they completely 1000% sort of love the interaction and the more media possible, that real community outreach thing of being on Twitch and having these events and things like that and trying to be as transparent as possible. I know that gamers love that. I can see both sides of it to some extent, and I still don't know if it's like the 100% right way to go? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, it's so new. But he was he was the one leading their YouTube videos. Like when they did all his YouTube videos, he was the host of them, of interviewing the developers and doing the weekly shows and stuff. So I don't know what's happening with them now.
We shall see. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right, next up. Actually, I'm going to take a quick second to thank our sponsor for this portion of this year, which is Audible. If you guys have not checked out Audible, I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. Free book. Free 30-day trial. Hooking you up. Just go to audible.com/Gamebreaker, sign up, make an account, download the app, put it on your phone, your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, whatever you got. They've got an app for it. You're going to get a free book just for signing up. Make sure you go to audible.com/Gamebreaker. That's what I got today. I don't know. I was going to look at my account. Let's see what's in my library. I bought something recently. It's not gaming centric. Oh yeah, I'm listening to this right now. This is Your Brain on Music. It's an interesting one. It's the psychology of music. I've been reading that. Oh, here's the Vulcan one. Let me play a second of this, since we were talking a lot about World of Warcraft.
Though that was his primary line of reasoning, the whispers and tutting from the two Chang sisters gave him further cause to hold back. The two of them were old enough to remember when Lu Lang had first departed Pandaria, or so they said. Though their fur ran much more to white than black, save where they darkened it around their eyes, Chen assumed they weren't quite that old. They'd spent all their lives in Pandaria, and very little of them in the company of those who had lived on the Wandering Isle.
Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Audible.com/Gamebreaker. Sign up. Get a free audiobook. Use the service for free for 30 days just by going to audible.com/Gamebreaker. All right, World of Tanks. They've got a special event coming up. You're not going to want to miss this one. September 29th through October 12th. This is Tank Rally Mode. 3v3 tank racing through ramps and enemy fire.
Tank racing. If falling off a bridge onto your enemy wasn't enough for you, now it's time for tank racing up ramps. Yes.
This is going
to be
great.
Sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like I'm mocking it, but it sounds fun.
I actually kind of want, I besides the ammunition part of this, I almost want to see this in real life. Tanks just going at it in a rally place.
Tank racing. Oh my God, how come nobody's done that on TV yet? That'd be a great show. Tank racing.
The Army can raise all their money. We could pay for the military that way.
Yeah, we're going to need it. It's funny. This is going September 29th through October 12th. Like I said, you're going to want to check out World of Tanks. Actually, I should tell you right now, if you guys haven't, if you're new to World of Tanks, go sign up, offergb.com/tanks, and use the invitation code GBTV, and you're going to get a bunch of free stuff, free gold, free tank, a bunch of free stuff. So if you're new to it, go check it out and make sure you use that. GBTV is the promo code.
Yeah, and get signed up now and you get a free tank for this event.
For this event as well, so you get that on top of the other free stuff that we're going to get you. But I almost wonder if this is going to be like a test, because I could see this doing so well that I would almost want to see this in the game all the time, like just as another mode.
Is this a new esport test for them?
Oh my God, I would love the 3v3 racing, enemy fire through all kinds of ramps. This is going to be sick.
I think, like League of Legends, League of Legends is discovering that alternate game modes don't do so well when you just kind of put them out there and leave them. I think League of Legends is discovering that they work better as these sort of short special events. So it'd be really cool if World of Tanks started doing something like that too, where they've got like these special events that happen, every couple of months, and they change it up a little bit here and there. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it is a ton of fun, and maybe it would be great if it was just persistent in the game. But I got a feeling this is maybe the lead off to this coming and going every so often, and maybe some other game modes, and maybe kind of surfacing here and there too, little special events like this.
Sorry, I'm just completely watching this video and going, this is going to be so cool. Like 3v3 with friendly fire, shooting at each other, trying to race to the finish line. I am all in.
This is pretty fun, because this is what I actually like partly about racing games. When I used to play a racing game, is the idea of being able to take out your enemy. So you
Mario
can
Kart.
Yes,
that's why
that's
Mario
what I-
Kart
yeah.
is so popular.
it's Mario Kart with
It
tanks.
is. That's what, yeah, it's great. It's an awesome mode. I think this is brilliant. All right, so that's pretty much it. But mark your calendars, the 29th, which is only a few days away. 29th to the 12th. Definitely be racing against some people. For all you iPhone users out there, all one of you, update 802 is out. I'm uploading it now, downloading it.
Wait, you're updating?
I'm updating my phone right now. Yeah, while we're doing the show.
Is this the broken update that you're not supposed to use?
They pulled that one, Justin. They
Okay.
pulled the broken one. This is the fix to the broken one.
I was like, Gary's breaking his phone on.
Right now, on TWIMMO, Gary breaks his phone.
That was 801. This is 802 to fix that problem. So,
Okay.
all right. Next up, Mark Kern. He is the ex-CEO of Red 5 Studios, who was the company behind Firefall, which maybe some of you have played. So he has come out. He's got a new studio called Mech Entertainment, MEK Entertainment, and he raised $1 million in a seed round for a new MMO designed around the Oculus Rift. Interesting. I think it was only a matter of time before somebody was going to do something like this. It's kind of like a retro. It's kind of like a retro styled pixel art looking thing.
Which is interesting with the Oculus Rift.
I'm pretty sure they officially refer to it as a voxel game too. So there you go. So it's a retro pixel art voxel game. The voxels are all the rage right now.
3D.
I have a Rift. I think it would be great for an MMO. I actually think I think MMO players will probably be first to market to buy a Rift. Because they want to live in these virtual worlds, right? Like other than like normal gamers, they just want to like normal gamers. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it like that, but MMO players like want to live in these virtual worlds, so it completely makes sense. That's
it's going to be interesting going forward too, because the headset itself is the new versions are finally getting to a point where maybe companies can start making games for that instead of adding it to their games. So I mean that may open up a whole new world as that headset gets ready for
the excitement around the Rift and any of these headsets that are being worked on right now I've been seeing it increase greatly, especially with the new dev kits that's come out for people. Like first off, they're selling for like $2,000 on people who are selling them.
wait,
the headsets.
what are
the new dev kits for the Oculus Rift
with the headphones or just DK2?
The DK2.
People are selling them on eBay for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and people
want to buy
people
them?
sell them,
$5K
right now.
But I know there's a lot of people who's already trying to develop just like different games with it and things. So, I mean, I think it's growing out there if people want to use it. So, the big question that is on anybody's mind with it though is, how close are we to a consumer model of the Oculus Rift?
I think we're still a little ways off. I do. I think we're a ways off. I mean, I'm only guessing because I have DK2 where it's at right now, and I definitely don't think it's ready for mass market. I don't think it's close for mass market. So I don't know, unless they just, kind of blow stuff. Who knows? With Facebook money, they could possibly be accelerating the process. They could be doubling, tripling, quadrupling the team. I don't know, but I still think they got a ways to go.
If you and just because of this, then if you have an MMO designed for the Oculus Rift, can you play it without it? It'd be very well. If it's designed specifically around that virtual reality aspect.
I don't know. That'd be an interesting question. Do you have to have this headset to play it? And especially because they're developing the specific controllers for the VR headsets now too. So I mean, if everything's kind of wired around that, do you corner yourself? You get a very, very tiny niche market at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for everything that I've played on the Oculus Rift, thinking in terms, there really is no reason I don't think that they could possibly make the game playable in both fashions, with or without the Oculus Rift. I guess there are certain things they could do that would be very Oculus specific. And I would think if you're going to develop an MMO for the Oculus, you would go that extra route. I believe you would, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you if you're making a game, if you're making a game for the Oculus, do you just completely say no, if you don't have an Oculus, you can't play this game? It just doesn't happen. I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
You're obviously extremely limiting your player base from the start.
Yeah, especially right now. Yeah. Especially if you're working on it right now and it's coming out sometime in the next, I don't know, couple of years. I don't know how long this development cycle on this game is going to be. It doesn't sound like it's going to be a big 7-year project, but especially right now, I mean, your player base is very limited. How much money are you going to make when there's zero consumer version of this out there?
I'm going to guess that maybe they're not, because they allowed the first 100 people, I think, who signed up access, or they'll get like
Sarah in chat brings up a good point. Third-person games are always disorientating in VR, and I gotta say, is that absolutely true? Like, it would not work as a third-person MMO in there. So I wonder if they would restrict it down to first-person view only, regardless of whether you were playing with or without a VR helmet or VR Oculus. You have to play in first person.
I don't like first person. Very, very few games I like first person. But that's just my personal preference. I may be the only guy on the face of the planet who would much rather have third person.
Well, I can sort of understand it without a VR, but
yeah, that's the thing. First person that we see in games is from the chest view usually. You never see your feet when you look down. You don't feel like you're actually playing the character very often when you're looking at a flat screen. With the VR, first person view could be a whole new experience of actually feeling it. So
well, I've done a few things that are like that, and I gotta say it's kind of unbelievable. Like when you're on the like there's one, I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's kind of like an RPG-ish sort of game. I think I've talked about it before, but your first person view in like foresty kind of jungle area, and when you're like planted on the ground, feet on the ground, like in game essentially, and like looking around, like words can't really describe if let's just say you were playing World of Warcraft and then all of a sudden you were in your character in World of Warcraft and you were looking up at like Ironforge or something, and like it's such a completely different perspective. It's mind blowing, kind of. It's
really that background noise around your screen is kind of gone.
Yeah. And it's like you just walls are massive. The only thing for me right now is everything that I've tested so far in first person makes me incredibly nauseous. So, which could be other issues as well. It doesn't necessarily I think that they'll work that stuff out, but the first person stuff I've tried 2 or 3 and they all make me nauseous. The only one that doesn't make me nauseous actually is that's first person is Elite Dangerous. Which I actually, if anybody's doing the VR stuff, I've got a theory on why I get nauseous or not. It might help them. I think what it is that in the RPG style game, you're in first person and there's nothing between your eyes and the environment. And in Elite Dangerous, you've got the static cockpit. So you've got like these posts coming down, like, for your window, and you've got like an interior of your cockpit, and the cockpit doesn't move. Like if you turn your head, the cockpit stays centered. And my brain, I think what it is my brain's actually able to like orient itself with the static environment and have the other environment be moving in the background. Whereas in an RPG where I'm literally on the ground just moving freely, there's nothing in the foreground that I can kind of lock onto. So I'm almost wondering, I don't know, it was actually a test. I was going to talk to some devs and say, you know what, as a test, put like a HUD, like I put a helmet on or something in the game with a HUD that sits like this in front of my eyes, and then let me see past it into the world environment and see if people don't get nauseous. I wonder if that would change anything. I don't know. It's just a theory.
I would imagine so. It probably changes your perception, where instead of feeling like you're in a ship that's spinning in space, it feels like you're just sitting in a ship and space is spinning around you. And that sounds dumb to say, but there's a difference, especially for those of us who are super susceptible to motion sickness. There's a huge difference in those two things.
Yeah, I think I need some sort of static point of reference in my VR helmet that I can like see at all times that aren't shifting and moving to make me not get nauseous. I think once I take that away and I do anything that's first person and it moves vertically like the roller coasters, forget it. My stomach's just like, no. All right, what else we got? You mentioned this before. Heroes of the Storm Technical Alpha ending. So they're doing a full wipe. This is apparently this is the last planned wipe, right? So they're actually planning on unless anything crazy happens and they have to wipe for some reason. This is
basically beyond this point. They want to, after they do this wipe and the servers come back up, they want to allow you to keep all your progression and all your purchases, so you can play now for keeps.
So all 12 of you that are in the game don't have to worry about losing your stuff from now on.
I'm sorry, Troy.
Sorry, Troy.
And I hate all 12 of you.
But I understand why they're doing this. There's an extent that people, when you test so long, especially in an alpha, and you're like, wipes are coming, you kind of get, well, okay, I'm going to stop now. I've experienced the game. I've given my feedback on different things. I'll play it for a week after the next patch or whatever, give my feedback on that. But players are just like, it's not for keeps now. I don't keep testing your game for you and keep wiping it. I mean, they kind of lose that sense. They don't want to repeat the same thing over and over again. So they've gotten to a point, I think, where they've realized that, hey, we're not getting anything more out of our current batch of testers. They're dwindling down now. So now we need to make it a more permanent experience game.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
All right, well there you go. So this is hopefully lasts. So they do wipe again if it's needed. It'll be your progression. They may wipe progression, but they won't be wiping any of your purchases. So
yeah, all your hero unlocks and all that. You'll still hang on to that.
Now, well, that will be wiped this time. If they wipe in the future, you'll keep your purchases and stuff. And for anybody, and just like they did in Hearthstone with this wipe, if they when they wipe your purchases, that money is getting sent back to you. The money that you spent on it is being given back to you, and then you can spend it again. So you didn't lose your money. I didn't steal it from you and then wipe everything from you and have you start the game.
No, it's gone. It's in the void. You'll never see it again.
And if you have spent money in the game already, it's
paying off.
Get a special amount.
Thanks for paying for Titan development.
All right. Well, I guess they're getting closer and closer to release there on the hero. Sounds like we're getting close, so maybe BlizzCon will get an announcement. Who knows? All right, Justin Kennedy, follow him on the Twitter at JKKennedyTV, and right here on TWIMMO every single Thursday at 5. And who knows where he'll be next week? Maybe he'll put a piece of artwork on the wall, or the brick wall, or something. I don't know.
That amazing brick wall.
Troy Blackburn, follow him on the Twitter at Noobfridge, NOBFRIDGE at the Noobfridge, and of course check out all his stuff on Gamebreaker and the soon-to-be
new
secret site coming out. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Follow me on Twitter at Gary Gannon. Follow Gamebreaker TV. Like I said, new site coming in days from now. Hopefully, just waiting on like something so you can flip the switch and it'll go live. Let me know what you guys think of it. Hit me up on Twitter when it does go live. It goes live before the next show, which I hope it does. It's 7 days. It should. Hit me up on Twitter and let me know what you think of it. Hope you like it. Yeah, we'll be back Thursdays at 5 to do another edition of TWIMMO. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.